Welcome to Tradition Kitchens. We are thrilled to have everybody here as you're joining. We're expecting an exciting crowd for Shera's Malaysian fried rice this evening. For those of you who are dialing in on East Coast time, Shera is joining us from the UK, so it is late her time, and we are so grateful to be learning from her. I see Midori here from Japan, bright and early in your morning, starting the day. Thank you everyone for being here. We would love to have you join us on video so that we can see each other and celebrate our community, and you can be cooking along with us or just watching and taking notes, whatever works for you. And your background is just perfect the way it is. This is one of my faux kitchens that I have redecorate quite often with pictures I find that are inspiring from photographers on the internet. And we'd love to welcome people to Tradition Kitchens with some quick intros. So we'll do that for a couple of minutes just before we get started. So Midori, do you want to unmute and say hello uh, and greet us from Japan?
Hello, good morning from Japan. I live in Kyoto, Japan. Thank you.
Great to see you. So wonderful to have you. Marcy, I love seeing you again. Do you want to unmute and say hello? We have got so many great familiar and hopefully new people here.
Sure, it's great to see you again. It's been so long, and forward to tonight's session again. I'm going to cook along. At least I'm going to attempt to cook along like I usually do.
It's very simple. I chose when Juliet emailed me, was it a month ago or so? I thought, you know what, this dish is very easy, and plus it's midnight for me. So, you know, if I'm half asleep, I can still do it.
Great. Well, thank you. Good to see you, Julia.
Good to see you too. Yes, we took a little bit of a sabbatical this summer and fall, and so we're back for this holiday edition. And welcome if you are new, welcome if you're returning back. Laura, great to see you again. Do you want to unmute and say hello?
Hi, how are you guys doing?
Good,
I'm
good.
glad to be here, like with normal timing, and everything's great. I'm so excited, and I even have my mise en place, so I'm very happy.
Awesome. Perfect. We're so happy to have you. Anyone who might want to introduce themselves, we would love that before we kick off in 2 minutes. So I usually ask people who are on video. So I'm looking at Zoom, and Vahishta, might you want to say hello? I hope I said your name right. Please correct me if not. And you're on mute, so make sure you unmute on the left.
Hi, I'm Vahishta. I'm from Montreal, Canada.
Wow. It's night, I'm guessing there. Evening.
Could you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. So 7 p.m. Eastern. Are you on Eastern time? We
are on Eastern time, right.
Awesome.
Right.
Glad to have you here. We are officially international. We've got Canada, Japan, UK. We often have some great contingents from Australia. Are any of our Australian friends here? I know some of them will be tuning in when Rosh teaches in a little bit in December. No? Okay. Well, I want to be respectful of Shera's time, especially because it is so late, and she did this class for us in such a kind way. So welcome. Again, great to have everyone. We are recording, so if you, oh, Susie's here from Melbourne. So happy to have you. If you want to come off camera, or on camera, we would love to wave at you, but no worries because it's early there. We would love to have people on video. It's always really nice to see each other's faces and be able to interact and smile and connect in meaningful ways. So please do that if you're able to. Today is a special day. It's the 10th anniversary of Giving Tuesday, which is a philanthropic day that was created to encourage people to give back. And the reason Tradition Kitchens was inspired to return this holiday season was to really take a philanthropic approach to our cooking for a cause. So some of you have given already, some of you are giving in spirit. We appreciate anyone's support. We've chosen World Central Kitchen, which is an incredible organization that goes in after their emergencies, whether it's natural disasters or terrible times in our world, like when the war in Ukraine broke out and continues to happen. They are there and supporting them, and also hurricanes. So anyways, we have a community fundraiser. It's the same one as last time. I'll put the link in. If you gave already, thank you. If you want to and you can give, we appreciate it. There's also the way you could give directly to World Central Kitchen, your choice. We just hope today and this holiday season you think of others in any way that you are able to support them. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Shera, who has generously donated her time. Again, she is an amazing chef and teacher based in the UK with roots in Malaysia and a global citizen. We'll learn more about her story. I'll be monitoring the chat. I'm also going to put a few links in the chat. Feel free to let us know where you are dialing in from if you haven't already. So Shera, over to you, and thank you so much for teaching us tonight.
Okay. I don't know how many of you have been to a Malaysian restaurant wherever you are. I believe there's a few in New York. I'm not sure about Canada, but nasi goreng is claimed by a lot of different countries, Indonesia, because we obviously have the same language. So if you go into an Asian restaurant that says nasi goreng Kampung or nasi goreng istimewa, it is what we're cooking today. And nasi goreng is actually a dish which is made up of leftovers from the night before. So if you've got leftover rice, which I have, well, I cook this specially, not leftover from last night, but so people in Kampung is a village. So, if you live in a village, it's called Kampung. So this is what people in the kampung, in the villages, do whenever they've got leftover fish, leftover anything, chicken, vegetables. They'll just put it all, fry it. You can never go wrong. So long as you have, onions, garlic, chilies. Chilies is up to you to control however spicy you want. But so I've given you the ingredients list. Some things you might not get. So for example, anchovies, which is dried anchovies, I get these from Malaysia. So whenever I've got friends who come to visit to London and they'll say, oh, can we see you? And then I say, yeah, and then they say, what would you like from Malaysia? This is like liquid gold for me because I can't get it here. Or I think when I lived in Oman, I think Sri Lanka does dried anchovies as well, but theirs are very thick. So what happens is if you fry it, it's not as crispy. So I still get mine from Malaysia like I said, whenever I've got friends who come over. But if you don't have it, don't worry about it. It's my partner says that it tastes like pork scratchings because it's very salty and crispy. That's all. So if you got anything that's salty, crispy, it just adds to the nasi goreng taste. So
hey Shera, just a quick thing. I want to just interject and make sure, I know some people might be newer to Zoom, just make sure everyone's settings are right. So at the moment, if you have an updated version of Zoom, I have two versions of Shera spotlighted. There's Shera, just her name, and you can see her with her, and then there's Shera Othman, and that's all of the food that she's referencing. So if you don't see that, there's an option in Zoom called pin, and you personally can pin either of her pictures so you can be seeing them. So just want to make sure everybody can see what you're doing and talking about. Back over to you.
Okay, all right. So on my ingredients list, I've put dried anchovies, garlic and onion in a paste. I've actually not pound my bird eye chilies because I wanted to show you how I pound using the mortar and pestle, but I'll do it in a minute. And then it goes into this garlic and onion paste. And then I've got pieces of chicken. I've got peas. I didn't get beans. I think we've had enough of beans, green beans last week. So I thought, right, I'm going to use frozen green peas. And then 2 eggs. If you're having the meal for 1 person, it's 2. If there's 3 or 4, then add accordingly, because how nasi goreng is being served is there's always a fried egg on top, but in the fried rice itself, there's also an egg which will be scrambled, and I'll show you later how it's done. So okay, so I usually start with this, but because I didn't pound my my bird eye chilies, I'm going to do it now, just to show you that we actually pound. Hang on, I really okay. Sorry, Julia, I'm just trying to look at. Okay, that's fine. I guess I can see the screen on there, not on my phone. But anyway, so I'm just going to pound the bird eye chilies. So in Asia, we don't grind like this. I think people in the UK anyway, I wouldn't say whether it's in the West, but we pound it like this. You might have to wear goggles, because if the if the chilies go all over the place, especially if you want to avoid your eyes. It doesn't have to be too fine.
So is this super spicy? If people are spice sensitive, could they leave this step out?
Yeah, you can leave it out. It's not a must at all. But you know, garlic and onions are important. Hang on. I need a teaspoon. Right. Then this goes into the garlic and onion paste. I always have a garlic and onion paste supply. When I do it, I actually do lots, because everything I cook that's Malaysian always needs a garlic and onion paste. So I actually, like I said, I have a big container of that, and then I either add chili separately or ginger separately, or all the other things are put on separately after, depending on what I'm cooking. Right. Let's move to the hob. I'll just turn my camera. Okay.
And just a quick question, did you go over the garlic onion paste yet and how you make that, or you'll do that next?
No, the garlic and onion paste, I think I've put it in the preparation ahead.
Okay. Could you just tell us a little bit about how you did it for those who are curious?
So let me just get my blender. So I use, hang on, I just put it away just now. So hang on. Yeah. So I'll show this on this camera rather than meddle with my tripod. So garlic, I think if you look at the attachment I sent over, 4 cloves of garlic, but this measurement, sorry, when I blend it in a big container like this, I actually put a lot in. So I'll probably use two, do you call them bulbs? Like this. And I think it fits about 5 or 6 big onions. I'll put them in the NutriBullet or a blender, and that's it. You have to put a bit of water, because if not, it will be too thick. It won't mix. So add a bit of water and just blend it, and then you get this paste where I put the chilies just now. So the white transparent bit, that was the garlic and onion paste. That's all I do. You can't keep it too long. I'd say a week to 10 days. So I use it in all my cooking. So, you know, it goes really fast. I use it in my curries. I use it in a lot, almost everything. Like I said, in my nasi goreng, if I were to fry fish with soy sauce, everything has that garlic and onion paste. So it's very versatile for me in my cooking. It's the ginger that I'll put separately. Some things don't need ginger. So anyway, so let's start. Is that clear about how I do the garlic and
Yeah.
onion paste? Yeah. Okay.
And it stays in the refrigerator for about a week, you said?
Yeah, 7 days to, it all depends. If you use it very often, then you will always dip into it. But if you don't use it very often, it's not going to last very long. Then, you know, it won't become moldy. But you'll know that it starts to separate. The water starts to separate, and it's yeah. So yeah. For me, it lasts 7 to 10. Oops. I didn't start burning for a bit. Hang on. Oh, okay. I don't know why it is. Hang on. I prefer this. The ring wasn't properly put. So I need to fry my anchovies first, which, like I said, some of you might not have anchovies, so skip that bit. So I need to wait for the oil to heat up. To test whether the oil is already hot, I'll just throw in one. Once it starts to sizzle, then I can put the rest in. Okay.
And remind us the oil that you like to use. Any preference?
Vegetable oil or sunflower oil. Oils become expensive now. I don't know in the US, but it's definitely gone out here. So I use vegetable. Yeah. Okay. Not quite there yet.
This is always the part of cooking that I mess up. I always put the food in before the oil is ready. I do the same thing when I'm making an omelet, and then it sticks to the pan.
Yeah. It has to be the right temperature. And you know, if you don't have the right temperature, the food that you're cooking will actually absorb the oil if you haven't got the right temperature. So it's got to be hot, then it becomes crispy and it doesn't absorb too much oil. So you see?
Looks perfect.
Yeah. Pull that down. I think with Malaysian cooking, I don't know. I mean, when I
Oh, you froze for a second, Shera. What did you say? Malaysian cooking and then something else.
Yeah, Western cooking is more about measuring time and measuring ingredients. But I think with Asian, well, in my experience anyway, it's about how it looks, how it tastes, and how it feels. So I actually put in my recipes, I actually put a rough guide of how much salt and how much salt, seasonings and whatever. But at the end of the day, it's when you cook, you just have to keep tasting. I went to France to visit a friend, and she noticed, she said to me, no wonder your cooking is nice, it's because you're always tasting it. Whereas we always think that, oh, because Mary Berry's measured everything, everything's going to be perfect. I don't think so. I mean, of course, baking it is very precise, but I think with cooking, you know, like food like this, I think you always have to taste to know what is, you know, what's nice or what's delicious, you know. Anyway, right. So I'm going to lower down so I don't need this to be too crispy like the, so this was the anchovies. Now I'm going to put
A couple of questions coming in. If you have shrimp, do you cook it now?
I was actually going to say, if you bought cooked shrimps, you put it at the end because it's already cooked. But yes, you're right. I would have fried it. I would have fried it like how I fried the anchovies. I would have done it separately and put it aside. And then later on, put it in the rice when everything is ready. So if you've got raw shrimps, yes, you should. I'm not using shrimps today. I wasn't
Okay,
going to use
so
shrimp today.
sauteing your shrimp, and they cook pretty fast, so you can catch up with us, Alexis. And then Megan wants to know, can you use anchovy paste for the taste?
Never used anchovy paste. Anchovies in the bottle, you know, like the in the bottle that comes with oil, those are fillets, anchovy fillets. No, it's not the same. You need something, anchovies that's dry and crispy. It's actually just it's for the taste and the crunch. Anyway, I need to put oyster sauce. So when you see the paste has sort of, it's cooked, you can see it's separating from the oil and it looks, you know, well, we would say it's crispy, but it doesn't look crispy. But when you see the oil separating, then it's done. And then I think it was 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce. No, 1 tablespoon. Yeah. Then I'm going to put the chicken. I cut up my chicken into pieces.
And I think you're using chicken thigh. Do you recommend that?
Yes, I mean, it's up to you. If you like, I just don't like chicken breast. I just think that's tasteless. So I always buy chicken thighs, boneless. If I'm making nasi goreng, it'll be boneless chicken thighs. But if I'm making other things with you know, like a curry or anything like that, I'll use chicken thighs on the bone. But this is chicken thighs.
You and I are the reverse in the kitchen. I think chicken thighs aren't as tasty. And I like chicken breasts. Question, how many anchovies do you?
I would say if I'll show you, I've got a stash of different sized anchovies, you know. In Malaysia, we have all the different grades of anchovies, from the tiniest, which is this, to big ones like this. I just took, I mean, if you want to measure it in a tablespoon, I'd say this is like probably 2 tablespoons. But if you get, if you think, if it's big ones like this, I would say I'd be taking a handful and using a handful for nasi goreng.
Got it. Okay, a couple other questions coming in. We've got a lot of curious people today.
Okay.
Could you use soy sauce instead of oyster sauce if someone has an allergy?
You could, yes. Actually, it's entirely up to you. You can use sweet soy sauce, which is the thick one, and with the salty one, which is thinner, runnier. Yeah, you could use it. It doesn't matter. It's, if you feel that you like soy sauce, by all means, use soy sauce. Okay, so now You can see the chicken pieces are already cooked. So then throw in the rice. So I used I think about 6 to 7 scoops. You know that little I think 1/3 of a cup, the measuring cup. I used 6 or 7 from there. And you just put it in. Break it up. Now, like I said, it's usually leftover rice. So the rice has already been in the fridge overnight. So you'll see that when it's already put in the fridge overnight, it breaks easily. Whereas if you use newly cooked rice, it's still starchy and it clumps together and it doesn't coat the rice very well if it's sticky. So that's why you use the rice from the night before. Okay, so you try and coat as much with the onion, garlic paste. And until you see no more white patches, that means all the rice has been, you know, is well coated of, you know.
Tell us about the rice you like to use. What kind of
I
rice?
use basmati rice. I don't use jasmine rice. I think because I lived in the Middle East for quite a long time. In Asia, I know we use either Thai fragrant rice or jasmine rice, and it's very sticky and starchy. I think in the Middle East, it was quite not luxury, but the supermarkets were just full of Pakistani basmati rice. So I got used to it, and I think it's healthier. It doesn't stick. It feels. It's got a longer grain. It's like I said, it's not heavy. So I use basmati for this. But whatever you have, as long as you have had it the night, you've already refrigerated it the night before, and before cooking it, you know, just unclump it with hands so that they're you know not fluffy, but you know it's all in little grains like this. They don't stick to each other. Okay, so now, like I said, I think it's important to taste for salt. So I usually just take. So what you can do is, if you want it more salty, you can either use salty soy sauce or salt. Again, I would say this is probably 1 teaspoon of salt. But because I have anchovies, this is also going to contribute to the saltiness of the dish. So I can't put as much because, like I said, I'll have all this saltiness from that anchovies later. So let me taste it again. Much better. I think that's enough for me. As I said, you can use soy sauce. Now, make a well in the center. And this is where you're going to break an egg. Okay. Leave it for a little while until the bottom is cooked. And then you scramble it. Or you can also use fish sauce. I know a lot of Thai people always have fish sauce, so you can also use the saltiness from fish sauce, whatever you decide, either soy sauce or fish sauce. Right. So once the egg has sort of solidified a bit more. Okay. Now you bring all the rice to the center. And again, coat it well so that every part of the egg is evenly distributed. And just scrape the bottom so that the eggs come off and get coated, and it coats the rice. And then I'll put in my peas. If you've got green beans, I like them quite raw, as in it has that raw taste and crunch. So I would put it in and then basically it's done now. Again, I'm going to taste. So that's nasi goreng for you. Very simple. Now, that's not the end of it. People usually serve, as I said, with a fried egg. So I'm going to fry an egg. I'm going to switch off, turn off the hob. So that's done. It should still keep warm. Then I will fry an egg, just normal. With a bit of oil, not too much. Well, it's non-stick, so it shouldn't stick anyway. Oops. Okay. Where's my spatula? Okay. This one I'm not too sure when it's going to be hot, but let's break it anyway. Just a normal fried egg as you would for breakfast.
Shira, since you live in the country now, can I tease you? Do you have chickens? Do you make your own eggs or?
No, but the neighbor down the road has chickens. So I don't know if you looked at my Instagram. One of my pictures, I think the last picture says eggs for sale. Yeah, so we get eggs from her.
I knew it.
We've got sheep, but no, we don't eat sheep very often. But anyway, we've got pheasants. So there's a big stately home across there where, as you know, I'm not sure whether you know, but the Midlands is very big on hunting. So the stately home there does have people who come hunting and they hunt for pheasants. So we've got pheasants running everywhere, even behind, not in our garden, but the field behind. So yes. So I don't know, you can have your egg either sunny side up or completely cooked through. That's entirely up to you. I usually like my egg runny in the center. So I'm just going to leave that for a bit. And I am going to now plate out the nasi goreng. I So a bit messy, but so in Malaysia, this is how people serve nasi goreng on a plate, and sometimes you can have cut cucumbers, you can have cut tomatoes, right, raw vegetables, and then put the fried egg on the top. And I like to actually sprinkle my anchovies on the top, but some people like to put it into the wok, and therefore the anchovies is distributed evenly. But for me, it takes away the crispiness if I put it in there. So I put it separately. I can either sprinkle it like that, or I can actually put it like that. It's entirely up to you. So that's it. That's nasi goreng for you. Hang on. I'm sure you can do a better job than me.
Oh, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. And it's so fast. Like, if you
Yes.
prep your rice and your
Yeah.
shrimp and all that, but you
Yeah.
cook the chicken live. So 30 minutes. Impressive.
It's people don't think people think when you eat it, you think, wow, like, how did they make this? But like I said to you, in the village, and I didn't grow up in the village, but my mother did, and people in the villages do. They don't waste food. So everything that's not been finished the night before, like I said, sometimes I remember in my mother's Kampung, they'll have fried fish from the night before. And if it's not finished, or even fried pieces of beef or chicken or whatever, you can just put it in. I mean, I use raw chicken, but if it's cooked, you can either shred it or cut it into pieces, whatever. And the same principle, as I said, garlic and onions, just like how I did it. That's how you fry rice. There's no hard and fast rule to it,
Yeah. And so there's questions from our crew.
Yeah.
Could this ever be served as a nice dinner, or is it always, you add the leftovers to it? It seems like you could make it fresh. You don't always.
You can. Like if my children come and I ask them, I say, what would you like me to cook? Of course, we don't usually have leftover rice, actually. So I'll cook everything fresh. But I always say to them, you need to give me, notice if you want nasi goreng, because I need the rice to be cold. I'll try my best to cook it in the morning and then put it in the fridge. But it's really the day after would be better. But it works. It still does. So it's not, you don't have to. I'm sure restaurants don't serve people leftovers to make their nasi goreng,
Yeah, definitely. I'm curious, people who've been cooking along, how is it going? Does anyone want to share their progress? Marcy's given us thumbs up. I'm going to add you to the spotlight. It looks good. Can you bring it closer so we can see?
Yes, that looks good.
Thank
Oh, your
you.
fried
No, because I added broccoli with the peas, because I've left the broccoli.
Yes.
And I'm gonna actually save this for dinner tomorrow night, so I'm gonna put the egg on it tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I did make the scrambled egg in here.
Yes.
And
Yes.
delicious.
Yeah.
And
It
easy.
is. Yeah.
This was great.
Yeah. Good. Now it's so easy.
Yeah.
Very impressive. Wow, well done. Anyone else caught up? Laura, how's it going with your kitchen?
It's going great. My husband actually just came and took a taste. It's still in the wok. Whoops, there we go. And then just so you guys know, I used my leftover Thanksgiving turkey because I had a ton of that. So in the spirit of Thanksgiving, or in the spirit of leftovers, I did that, but I did go out and buy fresh shrimp for it because I love shrimp. So thank you. This is great.
Yeah.
We have nasi, we get nasi goreng at our local Indonesian restaurants.
Yes, Indonesia will have it as well. Yes.
And so
yes.
it's fantastic, and we're always excited to have it. So I'm really, really grateful to make some version of it. I'm thrilled.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Whereabouts are you in Canada?
In Los Angeles. In Los Angeles.
Oh, okay. Wow. You have nasi.
Yeah,
You
so
have
there's
Indonesian. Wow.
yeah, that's why I was able to get the dried anchovy pretty easily. We are very, very blessed with a great multicultural
Yes.
group that open up a lot of great markets.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. Oh,
So thank you.
wow. Thank you. Thank you for joining today.
I love it. Well done. Jessica is catching up with us from Hawaii. By the way, Jessica, I hear there's some volcano situation. Are you doing okay? If you can unmute and want to share, we're thinking of you and everyone in Hawaii right now.
Yeah, the volcano, there's actually two volcanoes erupting on the Big Island. One of them's been erupting for like a year and a half now, and a second one started Sunday night, and it has the potential to be more destructive. It has not been destructive yet, but it hasn't erupted in over 40 years. So it's kind of a play it by ear. But I hear from my mother, who is on the mainland, that the news is quite scary, and it's not here. Everybody's super chill about it. Kids are still going to school. People are still going to work. It's not a big deal. The lava flows very slowly. So if there's going to be an issue, probably people will have several days notice before they need to evacuate.
Wow. Yes, we hope you stay safe and glad. Yeah, they're making it sound quite scary from
Yeah, I don't believe any of it.
Stay safe and out of harm's way, and lots of cooking with us. So you're making progress in the kitchen, and you're a vegetarian, so you did some substitutes.
Yeah, I made several changes. I found vegan oyster sauce, so I was excited about that. But then I did tofu, and I did some mushrooms and some baby bok choy to kind of bulk it up.
Yeah.
So I'm cooking that stuff right now, actually, and then I'll put the rice on.
Do you get tempeh? Do you get fermented soya beans? I think it's called.
Yeah, we can get that. We can get pretty much anything from Asia here. It's kind of amazing. Yeah.
Wow. I actually have a Malaysian friend who lives in Hawaii, but I'm not sure which part of. But she hasn't posted anything about volcanoes erupting on her Instagram, but I should ask her.
Yeah, you should ask, but it's fine.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And we also have Shri. We have quite the crew from Hawaii. Shri's not here today, but she taught a class early on. So hope she's doing okay. You guys, I realized in my enthusiasm to get started, I forgot to take our annual selfie, our Zoom selfie. So if I could trouble you all, if it's not too much to ask, if you wouldn't mind flipping on your cameras for those who are comfortable, and we can take our fun photo and post it on the Instagram. Be wonderful to see everybody. Welcome, welcome to those who are coming. Marcy, I love it. You're ready with your dish in hand. This is so great. Anyone else? Let's see. Oh, I see Megan and Arlene are here. Let's see. I'll call out a couple names. Yeah, Richard, May, Paula, Amanda, Chantal. Oh, now people are hanging up. Oh, well. Don't leave us. We've got 40-something folks on the line, which is awesome, and I will snap. Wonder if there's a way for me just to have those who are on camera. I might have to do some photoshopping. All right, let me count us down and do 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Oh my gosh, this is so, so great. Richard, now that I've got you on camera, are you cooking? How's it going? Can we get an update from you? Make sure to unmute.
I am cooking.
Is it going well?
Seriously?
Any questions?
I'm a little behind.
Okay,
No.
great. Well,
That was good though.
Awesome. Well, please, definitely, I'm going to put in the chat, make sure you tag Shera and Tradition Kitchen so we can see how everything turns out. Any final questions for Shera from our wonderful crew of students? Or anyone else want to share how it's going and or ask any? No? Quiet crew this evening. Okay.
I was going to say, if you've got pictures of your dish, please tag me. I'm on Instagram under the name Tempoyak Cooking. I'm not sure. I think, Judah, you would have used it in a lot of the posts, yeah. But
Yeah.
it'll be good to be able to see, you know, everyone's dish, what's turned out.
Yeah, I'm
Thanks.
gonna share it here again in the chat and I'll send it out in the email. But Shira, maybe since we just have a couple extra minutes, I know it's late for you, but will you tell everyone just a little more about your story and
Oh, okay.
like the
It's funny.
abridged version?
This was born out of lockdown. I actually signed up for a business course. I'm actually in PR and events. So I used to work in the oil and gas, like the likes of Shell and Petronas. And I was working in a small PR company in London. And when lockdown happened, I just had too much time in my hands. I signed up for a business course. I thought, you know what, I can multitask. I can have this screen on and that screen on. Anyway, so signed up for a course and it was for 10 days. First day was set up an Instagram account. I thought, oh, okay. I had to because they had breakout sessions and I had to contribute. So I did. Anyway, I put up some pictures. I thought, oh, you know what? Chicken liver, nobody eats that with green beans. That's very traditional in Malaysia, in a house, not in the restaurants, but in a Malay home. And the next day, somebody called me, or rather texted me on my Instagram account and said, would you like to cook? Would you like to teach cooking on our channel? And I thought, oh, I didn't plan this, you know, I was just mucking about. But anyway, to cut the story short, I started cooking. People, you know, I started going on to networking, Zoom networking, small businesses and whatever. So everyone on the networking group was either a lawyer, a solicitor, an HR consultant, accountants, a will writer, but suddenly came to me, I sell cooking classes. So there was never a problem for people to remember me. Anyway, so because of lockdown, people wanted to meet friends. So they then asked me to cook, to have a class of where, you know, they were usually couples, husbands and wives wanted to cook with each other and friends. So like this, whereas if they knew each other, they're all not muted because they know each other, but I get drowned. So sometimes it's difficult for me to tell them, you know, do this, do that, but it was fun. It was fun. So it started that way. And then I moved out to the countryside and now I'm looking at nationwide delivery of my food. Also home catering, because I think people in the nearby villages know about me now. So like next week, I have a birthday party of 12 people. Somebody's asked me to come and cook for them. And I thought, wow, I like it. I like it when I'm not forced. I like it when I can manage it. It becomes therapeutic to cook. So that's where I am at the moment. So I've got ideas in my head, but I'm slowly rolling it out in my own time.
Yes, and you're based in the UK in a countryside village that I think Shakespeare is from originally. Is this right?
Yeah, everyone thinks it's a village on the Avon, the river Avon, but it sounds quite similar. Shakespeare comes from Stratford upon Avon. The village I'm in is Stanford upon Avon.
Why you told me? Because if I were to come
29 miles, 29 miles, about 45-minute drive. So, but yes,
my eyes skipped over a letter. Okay, thank you.
All right, okay. It was nice. Yeah, nice to meet everyone.
Yes, and so anyone who's in the UK who's up late, or if you have friends, tell everyone about Shera's, catering and delivery business, and hopefully someday we can all go dine with you in the countryside and learn and enjoy. Yeah. Any final questions for Shera about her story? I think it's so cool. I think we met through Instagram, which is awesome. Connecting with each other. So, any questions? Last call. We also want to just thank people for their generosity. A reminder, it's Giving Tuesday, and we hope people will consider giving to our community fundraiser for World Central Kitchen. If you haven't already, I put the link in the chat, or you can give directly. The fundraiser doesn't take any proceeds, it just gives it directly and allows us to track. So we're hoping to hit for our 3 classes a $500 gift as a community. So give what you can, and thank you to those who've given and who gave again. So kind of you. Final announcements. We're seeing lots of thank yous before people officially sign off. Let's make sure we give Shera the applause and the emoji love that she deserves. So feel free to unmute and say thanks, or just show your appreciation with hearts in the chat. I'm seeing a lot of them, and applause and party horns. That's the best part. Lastly, we do have a couple more classes. We're going to have Rosh, our incredible teacher from Australia, who's coming back and teaching an amazing looking class called Goan Coconut Syrup Cake, Batika. She'll have to teach us all how to pronounce it. That's on December 9th. The next day, on a Saturday, December 10th, we're doing crepes with Allison, who by day is a new medical doctor. She previously was a resident, and so she loves making crepes, which is really sweet. And then I haven't posted this, but we're going to end the season with a potato gnocchi class for Hanukkah, and all are invited for that with Heidi and her family. True Tradition Kitchen. She's bringing her girls back for the 3rd year to teach with us. So thank you everyone so much. It's been such a joy to see people again, meet new faces, and please tag Shera and Tradition Kitchen so we can see how your dishes turned out. That's
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you.